everyone, my name is Brandon Walls, and welcome to my first Logo Evolution series. Today we're going to be looking through an animation television company that has been defunct to own the 2010s. I'm talking about Agency for Instructional Technology, or AIT for short. AIT was founded in 1962 as NITL in New York. In around the 1960s, they were moved to Bremerton, Indiana for the Indiana University. Around 1968, they changed their name to NIT, or National Instructional Television. And then in 1970, they decided to break free from the independent and then started to work for NET again, but they found out that they were full into PBS and they decided to work with them. However, around 1973, they changed their name to AIT, but in 1974, they changed the name slightly to International for Instructional Technology based on the computer software and VHS cassettes. However, this was unpopular in the 1990s because PBS were kicked out of the program. Their last project was released in 2011 and they're closed in 2015, as you can see on the Indiana University. Now let's move on to the one you've been waiting for, the logos. We don't have any logos from NITL or NESCT because the logos during this time period were unknown. However, we do know when they started in 1968. We like to call it the painting NIT, and it was used from 1968 until 1973. There are 10 variants. The last 4 versions have copyright stamps.
The following is from NIT, National Instructional Television.
From Exxon Corporation.
The following is from a National Instructional Television series. The series and related materials were developed and supported by 32 educational agencies, with additional support from Exxon Corporation.
The following is from a National Instructional Television series. The series and related materials were developed and supported by 32 educational agencies, with additional support from Exxon Corporation.
Series and related materials were developed and supported by 32 educational agencies, with additional support from Exxon. From a National Instructional Television series. The series and related materials were developed and supported by 32 educational agencies, with additional support from Exxon Corporation.
For NIT, National Instructional Television, in association with a consortium of 26 educational agencies.
Of NIT, National Instructional Television. Under the supervision of NIT, National Instructional Television. Under the supervision of NIT, National Instructional Television.
This is a very sad logo. I get that this logo was used before station IDs come in place, but take these logos for example. Enough chit-chat, let's move on. When NIT became AIT in 1973, they have a new logo. I like to call it this one the Segment NIT, and it was used from 1973 until 1982. There are some variants, but I'm going to show you 2 to make it simple.
Under the supervision of AIT, Agency for Instructional Television.
Under the supervision of AIT, the Agency for Instructional Television.
It's a little bit better than an NIT logo, but it needs some more animation. It's just a lacking of animation. However, the next logo improves everything. I like to call it the map and was used from 1979 to 1980. Apparently there are 2 variants. One is videotaped and one is filmed. The film version has the AIT look orange instead of yellow.
The following is from a cooperative project for acquiring skills essential to learning. The following cooperative project is supported by state and provincial agencies working through the Agency for Instructional Television.
Hold on. Wait, what? That logo is amazing! I can't believe that this logo is only used for a year. I wish it'll be longer. Has pretty nice animation. However, the next logo is apparently amazing than ever. I like to call it the Puzzle Green Map, and it was used from September 1st, 1982 until 1987. I have two variants. One has an announcer saying Agency for Instructional Television, and one announcer says Agency for Instructional Technology, which was used on July 1st, 1984, which is the same year where they changed their name slightly to that name. Note, the Agency for Instructional Technology version has some text over it, so please, I just took it from Alden Muller's PTLE evolution on that channel, so please ignore it as you can.
The following has been developed by state and provincial agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Television. Together, serving education.
The following has been developed by state and provincial agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Technology. Together, serving education.
On Principles of Technology, there was a core logo, or the Center of Organization Research and Development logo, would zoom in after the AIT logo. There are two variants. One is the same as the previous variants, and one is shorter, starting with the together fading in.
A project of state and provincial vocational and technical education agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Technology and the Center for Occupational Research and Development. Together, serving education.
This logo is apparently a favorite to many people who grew up with this. This is also the first time that I have the slogan, Together, Serving Education, which will be synonymous with the brand until much later. When they changed to Agencies for Instructional Technology around 1984, they have a brand new logo. I like to call it the Make You Racist Techno logo, and it was used from 1984 until 1987.
The following is from the Agency for Instructional Technology, AIT.
This logo is apparently super duper, animated. It's like Scanimation, more like rather animation. But Alden Muller actually made a great meme with this. Check this one out. Okay, let's move on. Next, we have the 1987 logo, which was used until 1993. I seen that logo once, and I call it the Zoom Out Map. There are apparently two variants. One has both Canada and US, and on the US history thing, programming thing, they only have the US with Alaska and Hawaii.
The following has been developed by state and provincial education agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Technology. Together, programming for today's learner.
The following has been developed by state education agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Technology. Together, programming for today's learner.
Let me tell you this. This logo is so terrible. I could not let my child watch this one. It has very black, cheesy animation, and other PBS logos had that too. Luckily, the next logo is also bad. I like to call it the What the Beep Is This? And it was used from 1989 until 1993.
The following program is from AIT.
I don't like it. Why? Because number one, the zooming, they used the same instruments from the previous logo, and they couldn't even just improve with the other logos at the time. However, the next logo also has animation, but it's really, really impressive. I like to call it getting the electricity all over the map, and it was used from 1981 until 2011. Because considering that Alden Mullins said he was founded in 2000 and his last project it was released in 2011, there were 3 variants. There's a normal version, an early shorter version, and one where it has the slogan, "The Learning Source," which will have been used in the logos later years.
A presentation of AIT. A presentation of AIT. A presentation of AIT.
A very good way to end this logo evolution. Overall, AIT has some ups and downs from the 80s and 90s, but we're still remembered throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And judging by the fact it went defunct in 2015, they would still be remembered. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy it, and see you guys later. Goodbye!